part 24 of my journey through the court system in the state of Connecticut over the past 10 years. At the end of part 23, I was talking about how Matt Lodice and I went to court in the New Haven Superior Court on March 9th, 2022, and we had a hearing in front of Magistrate Judge Jennifer Aguilar, who was in the Magistrate Court in the New Haven Superior Court in New Haven, Connecticut. For those who missed parts 1 through 23, you can check on YouTube and you can also see on TikTok for those parts, and you can hear the March 9th, 2022 hearing in which Matt basically lied to the judge and claimed that I had abandoned Angelina. And he had been doing this for a while, where he came up with this lie to say that I abandoned my daughter so that he could then try to ask the court to cancel his child support payments and let him have sole custody. At the end of part 23, we were going over all the reasons why what happened in that hearing was illegal and unconstitutional, and talking about how Matt basically lied about everything in order to make fabricated claims in order to help his position in court. So Lodice's abandonment claims were part of a sophisticated criminal scheme that he had designed to manufacture false evidence while engaging in systematic custodial interference. Following his non-payment of child support since November of 2021, he weaponized the technical requirements of our June 16th, 2021 custody agreement in order to create a situation in order to claim that I had abandoned our daughter, Angelina. We had an agreement at the time that had been signed in June of 2021 that said that we would meet to exchange Angelina at a Cumberland Farms gas station in Naugatuck, Connecticut. And we had been meeting there, and then when I wasn't going that way anymore, we stopped meeting there, and we had been meeting at my mom's, and he would drop off Angelina at my mom's on Monday, pick her up from there on Friday. So it had been months and months of us not meeting at this gas station, but the court order technically still said that we were supposed to meet at this gas station. So on days when he was mad, he would say, I'm not bringing her to your mom's. You either meet me at the gas station or I'm gonna go to the police and tell them that you abandoned Angelina and that you're not following the court order. Then when I could not meet this arbitrary deadline at Cumberland Farms due to appointments or other legitimate conflicts, he would then refuse to return Angelina to me for weeks at a time, while also filing false police reports claiming abandonment. So this systematic scheme represents multiple criminal violations, including custodial interference under Connecticut General Statutes Section 53A-98, extortion, and conspiracy to file false police reports. So even though I had primary residency at the time, I would go to the police. I would say that he is refusing to return my daughter to me. I'd say, please arrest him for custodial interference and give me back my child. And the police would say that it was a civil matter, and this would enable Matt Lodice's criminal conduct to continue unchecked. So the calculated nature of this scheme becomes evident when considering that he also brought Angelina with him to the March 9th, 2022 hearing in order to create the visual impression of being a responsible single father dealing with an allegedly abandoning mother. This theatrical staging was designed to support his false testimony while concealing his own pattern of systematic child support evasion and custodial interference that had been ongoing since November of 2021. His testimony about his inability to pay child support while simultaneously seeking sole custody represents additional perjury designed to manipulate both the support calculation and the custody determinations. Matt's systematic pattern of financial fraud documented across multiple hearings since November of 2019, when he falsely claimed to earn only $13,000 a year while actually earning over $71,000, continued in this hearing through his false claims about his inability to meet support obligations. The timing of Lodice's arrival on time with Angelina, while I was delayed by parking difficulties, demonstrates his calculated strategy to create false visual evidence supporting his abandonment narrative. His coordination with Magistrate Jennifer Aguilar to obtain detailed legal advice while I was excluded from the proceeding, reveals the premeditated nature of his deception and the systematic coordination designed to achieve predetermined outcomes through criminal means. The most glaring constitutional violation that occurred during the March 9th, 2022 hearing was through Magistrate Aguilar's systematic disparate treatment of me, despite my legitimate excuse for tardiness due to parking difficulties in New Haven Superior Court that has no parking and it's in the middle of a busy city, downtown New Haven. So when I arrived approximately 10 minutes late and I attempted to explain to the marshal and to Magistrate Aguilar that I had parking difficulties and that I was late because of this, the marshal said that the Magistrate Aguilar had already dismissed my hearing and continued my case to June 1st, 2022, which was 3 months out. Magistrate Aguilar's harsh response to me when I explained why I was 10 minutes late due to not being able to find somewhere to park was her to tell me court starts at 9 o'clock and said that I would have to wait 3 more months for our case to be continued because I was 10 minutes late. This demonstrates systematic bias and violations of equal protection. The parking issue at New Haven Superior Court is a well-documented systemic problem that affects all litigants equally, yet Magistrate Aguilar chose to penalize me for a court infrastructure problem while simultaneously providing extensive legal consultation to Lodice and allowing him to participate in the hearing with his 3-year-old child present, even though they've never let people proceed if they bring their kids. They will usually cancel the case, continue it to another date if you bring your kid, but they allowed him to have Angelina in the courtroom. Most egregiously, Magistrate Jennifer Aguilar also intentionally continued the case to June 1st, 2022, so that they could first get an update from what happens in family court, revealing her predetermined strategy to coordinate with family court proceedings outside her jurisdiction while denying me my constitutional protections. This systematic favoritism violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment by providing fundamentally different treatment based on apparent personal bias rather than legitimate government interests. Magistrate Aguilar's conduct represents a systematic violation of her statutory authority under Connecticut General Statutes Section 46B-231, which limits family support magistrates to matters involving establishing and enforcing child support and spousal support orders. And the Family Magistrate Division was created specifically for the purpose of establishing and enforcing child and spousal support in 4D cases. It does not grant authority over custody determinations, which remain within the exclusive jurisdiction of family court judges. The transcript also reveals that despite my absence, Magistrate Aguilar provided Lodice with detailed legal advice during the hearing about obtaining sole custody to eliminate his child support obligations. Her systematic instruction to go downstairs to the first floor and fill out the paperwork for custody modification, followed by "you need to do that today," represents a clear violation of her jurisdictional limitations and Connecticut Code of Judicial Conduct Canon 4G, which prohibits judges from practicing law or providing legal advice. Most significantly, Magistrate Aguilar's statement that if you're the custodial party, I don't want to hold you in contempt for not paying your child support, reveals her systematic strategy to help Lodice avoid accountability for his failure to pay support since November of 2021, while simultaneously obtaining custody advantages through her illegal legal advice. This represents the exact type of legal advocacy that magistrates are prohibited from providing under Connecticut judicial ethics rules. The systematic coordination between Lodice's presence with Angelina and Magistrate Aguilar's immediate legal assistance demonstrates a conspiracy to violate civil rights under 42 U.S.C. Section 1985. Follow for Part 25 to see all the other reasons why this was 100% an unconstitutional, illegal hearing that took place on March 9th, 2022 with Magistrate Jennifer Aguilar in New Haven, Connecticut.